Mom, the synth is being weird again. Hi there. As one who creates his own music, I'm always on the lookout for ways to broaden my palette of creative tools. Although my musical style is quite middle of the road, I like to pursue and embrace out of the ordinary options. And I like to look for instruments and apps to complement the more standard tools that I use in my workflow. In my personal studio, I obviously use virtual studio plugins from Steinberg, Native Instruments, and others. However, I do prefer using hardware synthesizers and like the idea of curating my own combination of tools. And that hopefully gives me some uniqueness and edge. So my go-to hardware for pianos and organs is usually my Nord Electro 5D. For general synths and pads, etc., and also my main controller, I have a Roland Jupiter X. For bread and butter sounds, from orchestral to world to everything else, I still rely on a vintage JV1080 module. Beyond that, I rotate other synthesizers and keyboards, namely a vintage Roland J8800, a Korg Minilog XD, a Roland Gaia SH01, and also have a Roland Juno G, and I sometimes connect up my live synths, namely a Juno DI, a VR09, and a Hammond XK1 just for fun. I also have an old Yamaha DX7 lying around. Although I do use its library via Native Instruments Contact, I also have an old Roland S760 sample hanging around, just in case. Recently, I became aware of quite a bit of hype around the Arturia MicroFreak and the MiniFreak synthesizers, and I have been sorely tempted. The appeal for me was the general commentary from users on their edgy, quirky, even eccentric out-of-the-box character. I knew that if I acquired one, I would not be buying more of the same. Truth be told, owning a Jupiter X covers more than enough bases anyway. So even though I was leaning towards saving up for a MiniFreak, which has more polyphony and built-in effects, I came across an old friend who was selling a MicroFreak for half the list price. At that price, and knowing that I would probably drive it via MIDI anyway, so the weird keyboard would not be a factor, it was a no-brainer for me. Unboxing it, I was amused by the RT form factor. I was also impressed by the MIDI DIN to mini jack converter cables included, and the power supply, which is only needed if you don't connect it to a computer via USB. Having plugged it in, downloaded the relevant software, updated the firmware, I started to fiddle. My initial impression was, I admit, a little disappointing. While quirky and wild and edgy are good, I found it a bit thin and wiry, probably because of no effects on board. It's also not stereo, it's just a mono out. Lots of amusing presets, but few that I could imagine using. Unless, of course, I wanted to start creating soundtracks for silly cartoons. So for me, the journey of discovery into this eccentric device continues. I can't say I'm blown away by it, and it certainly won't become a bread and butter tool in my workflow, but I can see it popping up to add some sparkle and quirkiness to some of my productions. You can hear it featuring the track playing in the background right now. There's some inconsistencies in its performance, with sound dropping out randomly and other weird stuff. This may be because of settings that favor the capacitive keybed over playing via external MIDI keyboard. I don't know, maybe I'm still doing things wrong. Maybe it's to do with the device being monophonic or paraphonic. Will I keep it in the long term? I don't know. I'll hang on to it for now. As I said, I doubt it will feature in my day-to-day work for clients or even my own releases, but I can see myself fiddling for fun and as a hobby. It's also very portable, and I have already had some fun sitting on my couch designing sounds in the living room. I'll play out with the track I created very quickly, mind you, where all the sounds used are the MicroFreak, with just the drums being generated by Native Instruments battery and a bass from my Steinberg Halion. I have added some reverb and delay to some of the tracks. on the lookout